All right, welcome back. So, if this is your first time joining, essentially, I'm building a nuclear fuser. It's a device called a Farnsworth fuser, and I'm building it in. So it started out in the garage, and I now moved it into the house so I could have more space to actually work, and for the humidity. But essentially, I'm building it to hopefully boost my college application to University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. So obviously, if you that's my cat. Sorry, if you if you've tuned into the last couple episodes, you know kind of what's going on. But essentially, we got some new parts, and I'm gonna go over the design. My little cat's really curious what's going on right now. He's really cute. He was in. I think he's been in every episode actually, except for the first one. But I'm gonna get to. Yeah, you know what? Here, I'll get to the. I'll get to the high voltage feed through part. So, I got this blank conflat flange. All right, and I bought this J99 spark plug. It's a spark plug that is used for agricultural applications and such. The nice thing about it is that it comes with a really long electrode, as you can see. This was welded on, this was modified right here, but I don't need all of this, so I can just cut this off. But the nice thing, as you can see, is that, from here up, the electrode is really long. And in open air, this can hold around 15 to 25 kilovolts. It just kind of depends on the actual thickness of the porcelain right here, because I kind of estimated with the calculations on that. So this could be 15. It's 15 to 25 kilovolts in open air. However, how I'm going to actually insulate it is something called mineral oil. Now this is commonly used as transformer oil, and obviously they use probably a different process, but this is just your regular food grade mineral oil. So I'm going to get a probably 1 3/4 outer diameter acrylic tube, and so I'm going to drill a hole directly in the center. This high voltage feed through is going to be in the center of the conflat flange. You can see here, if you can see it in the light, you can see that it has threads on it, so I can tap the hole and I can just screw the high voltage feed through into the hole. So, or I can screw the spark plug into the hole. And what I'll use to seal that up, like vacuum wise, is just JB Weld. That'll work perfectly fine as long as it doesn't get into the actual inside. And I just kind of secure it on the outside. It'll be perfectly fine. No outgassing will happen. But as far as insulation goes, 25 kilovolts is not enough insulation. So what I'm going to use is this mineral oil. I'm going to have a acrylic tube, probably roughly the size of this mineral oil bottle right here. And this mineral oil will insulate the electricity, because mineral oil has a very high dielectric strength. It's something like 15 kilovolts per millimeter or something like that. So per millimeter of mineral oil that I have surrounding this is 15 kilovolts of insulation. So it's probably 100 to 300 kilovolts depending on where you're looking on the spark plug. So and obviously this metal part will just be kind of flush to the surface. It'll be screwed in, so there will be a hole directly in the center. The spark plug will be inserted into the hole. I'll screw it in and everything. I'll screw it in and then JB Weld the outside to seal it vacuum wise. And then for insulation, I'm going to grab an acrylic tube roughly the size of this. This actually worked out to be a pretty similar size, and this will sit on top of here. And I'll probably just JB Weld that too. JB Weld's going to be my best friend in this build. But high voltage feed through stuff, so that's about it for the high voltage feed through. Obviously, it's just going to connect to one of these flanges here. So we did address the problem in the last episode about this cross. So there's some scratch, there's some noticeable dents, and there's two solutions that I have. One is just relying on the pure softness of the copper gaskets. Two, if the copper's not soft enough, I'll buy some indium wire. I'll just stick it kind of like around where the dent's gonna be, and that indium wire will just kind of act almost like a fluid, and the vacuum will kind of pull it into the hole. And then three, I can try to fix the dents. My neighbor works for a fabrication company, and he recommended I use a technique called peening, where you essentially get a ballpoint hammer, and you can't see you can see the dent. You can see it right there in the light. It's kind of reflecting. I'd get a ballpoint hammer type deal, and then like the end of a hammer, and I would I guess kind of like the way he described it, as I would hit that area, and it should push the metal up just enough that it could kind of be flush, at least with the knife edge. It wouldn't be perfect. This dent, that you can't see it on camera, but this dent right here, you can't really do too much about it, but this dent is, the nice thing about it is that it's compressed, right? So if you've got the knife edge right here, the dent itself made a compression, but it's not just compressed, it's sticking out, which is why we can do the peening thing. So since it's sticking out, we can bend it back like this. At least that's in theory. So now we did get some new parts. Obviously, you just saw we got these copper gaskets. So that's nice. We did get the variac. It's back here, and we also got a bunch of quick fit stuff. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna show the whole setup here in a minute, but the desk is really messy because I was building this watch. It's a Seiko mod. It's a NH35 movement, and it's just a dive style watch, but I don't know if you can really get a look at it in the camera, if it'll focus. Either way, I ordered the wrong bracelet size. So this bracelet is 24 millimeters and the case is 20 millimeters. So yeah, but this is really nice. I like it. Unfortunately, you can't see it on camera, but I scratched up the dial really bad when I was placing the hands on. You can kind of just barely, or at least I can kind of just barely make out the movement of the second hand. You can see it on the camera. You can see the little part on the end moving, but it's really nice. Definitely like one of the coolest things I've ever done, build a watch. So I'm gonna kind of lay everything out, and then I'll show you guys. All right, so as you can see, here is the vacuum pump from before. This is a new component that I just got. It's the bellows tube. So I also just got this. It's an adapter. So this is a half-inch threading right here, and this adapts on connects to the quick connect fitting, so that way I can attach this semi-flexible hose. And this whole fusion reactor will have to be built like kind of up, if you get what I mean. So like the hose is going to be like right here, and it's going to connect, so this whole thing will be on like a support system type deal. But here's the quick connect to CF25. So this is KF25 to CF25. Copper gasket. Sorry, Arnold just scratched me. He does that when he wants my attention. So this is the actual core itself. This is going to be for the deuterium side, but for now we don't need that, so we were just going to blank it off with a flange, and we'll actually assemble this together on video. And then this is the power. This is the feed through right here. It's not assembled by any means, but here's a transformer obviously, and the variac. So this is kind of what everything's looking like right now as far as setup goes. The only thing that we do not have is a viewport, which I'm thinking about just buying, because honestly, I was going to try to make one, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it to try and make one. But yeah, as you can see, here's a watch. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it. Yeah, I built that. That's pretty cool. Vacuum pump. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of switch over to the other POV, and we will assemble this the quick connect fittings for the conflat system. So conflat system or the quick connect system. So this is really or quick fit, I think is what it's called, quick fit. Quit fit, because it's not Whatever. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It does matter, but I got more pressing matters on my hands right now. Like the fact that in half a year's time, I'll be sitting in essentially a neutron bomb. So that'll be, I need scissors, but this is the actual clamp itself for the quick connect, or quick, you know what, let's just call it KF. How about that? And there's another KF if you guys from VG know who I'm talking about, as far as KF goes. Either way, back to the thing. So you can see this is an adapter. It goes KF25 to conflat, I think it's 35, but it's the conflat 2.75 inch system. So there will be obviously a copper gasket in between here and this part right here, but these two will sandwich together, and then this itself will be, you know, this is not the orientation that it will be obviously, but this itself will connect on to the conflat system using the bolts. The bolts will, I need bolts. So either way, to assemble it, it's actually extremely easy. And what's nice about what I bought is it came with like 5 of these little end caps. So that's really nice, because this will be the deuterium side, so it will need a little end cap until we get the deuterium setup going. So, you know, we got this O-ring right here. It's a Viton O-ring, so it's a little bit more special than regular. I think it's, I want to say it's rubber, version of rubber, but it's a little bit more special. It can kind of handle vacuums a little bit nicer, but this gets sandwiched on. As you can see, there's a little lip in there, and this metal ring attaches onto the lip. So this goes on like this, and then you've got your end cap with that little notch in it, and that goes onto the other side of the metal ridge. And then this thing, here, I'll move this up so you guys can actually kind of see what we're working on. So then this thing kind of sandwiches. You can see it's got little holes for it to actually fit into. Excuse me. So this kind of just sandwiches on, if I can line it up properly, and then you start screwing it tight, and then this in theory will hold a nice vacuum. Try not to get your thumbnail caught on that little bracket there. I don't know exactly how tight it's supposed to be, but I guess it'll be like a trial and error type thing for the vacuum, because I guess like, okay, that's probably tight enough. But this is the finished end cap, or this is a finished blanked off flange. Blanked off for now because this will be the deuterium injection site. So next we gotta assemble this bellows hose. So I'm not quite sure whether so here's the deal. It's up to you guys. Actually, it's up to me because you guys aren't here right now. But we could take this bellows hose and we could attach it onto the conflat to KF, or if you look over here, and yes, that is a 10,000 watt transformer right there. And I'm also using my variable AC transformer as a phone stand. So you can see this has the conflat, or this has the KF fitting onto it. So you can attach it onto here too. But I kind of want to attach it onto this thing. So I guess let's do that. I will need another one of these little gasket thingies. So I swear there's another one around here. I'm at least missing, oh, okay, there we go. So I don't need another one. All right, so obviously same process as before. Stick the Viton O-ring in, stick this onto this like this. That's a lot of this, sorry. But gotta take the bracket apart, and then probably unscrew this a little bit more because it's gonna be kind of rough to fit on. But I need bolts. I don't know what size these are, but I can just take one of these up to the hardware store and I'll figure it out. So then obviously, you know, this kind of just sandwiches it, clamps on. Got your this should be unscrewed just a little bit more, or I can maybe kind of force this together. I don't want to be one to assume, but I venture to guess that I'm one of the strongest future nuclear engineer. I'll say that. I would venture to guess that I am one of the strongest, if not the strongest people to own a nuclear fusion reactor. And that's pretty cool. That's something to put on your job resume. Actually not, but you know, if I put that on my job resume, I don't know how that could go because it depends on the job. If I'm applying for like a fast food job or something like that, they might call the cops or DHS or the FBI or something like that. So, yeah. But if I apply for like a cool job somewhere, that'd be cool. That'd be something definitely to put on the application. So we got this here. Yes, it's very long. Actually, it's pretty average, but either way, yeah, it's semi-flexible. The thing's made of metal. I don't want to flex it too much just because it's made of metal. And if you know anything about like flexing metal, you'll know that like, sorry, I'll get that out of my face. If you flex metal, it will not like that over time. So I'm gonna try to be gentle with that. But we got the conflat thingy right here. We got the other conflat thingy right here, and then got the other conflat thingy right here. And hey, look at that! It looks like a nuclear reactor, sort of. So when I tell people that I'm building a nuclear reactor in my house, there's like one of two things that they say. They're like, "What? How?" Or they're like, "That's such an Ollie thing to do." I don't even know why, because like that was like I was like, I guess so I was like a nerd growing up, but like, I mean, I'm still a nerd, don't get me wrong. I'm a massive nerd. Everything's like, I'm a nerd about everything, I won't lie. But sorry, my cat's gonna kind of be in frame here. This is Bunny. She's evil. She's evil kitty. She's like Larry, if you guys get the reference. But nah, it's you know, the stupid cat brain rot stuff. I'm sorry. I'm a future nuclear engineer and I'm talking about brain rot. How does that sound? Doesn't sound great. But yeah. So this is really cool. But yeah, a lot of people kind of like assume it's like something super crazy, but it's not. It's like a vacuum and then a lot of electricity and then deuterium and then fusion. So sorry for that. As far as viewport plans go, I'm just gonna buy one online. Probably gonna be the easiest thing to do. Just find a cheap little viewport. I could actually probably better not, but I was gonna say I could get a KF25 viewport, but that would require another conflat 2.75 to KF25, which realistically I probably should have bought like 50 of those because they were $15 a piece, and I bought them from this Chinese surplus. It was a laboratory in China studying neutron production. And what am I doing? Creating neutrons. So we're repurposing, you know, probably nuclear parts for nuclear parts, if that makes sense. So yeah, not really much else to talk about, but I do got to get that filter back on. I turned it off because it is so loud. But my brother's got his fish in there, and they seem like they're very happy and don't want to die. So I'm gonna see you guys for the third part now to the fusion reactor series, or the fourth part. I'll see you guys for the fourth part. This is the third part. See you guys for the fourth part of the fusion reactor series.